Happy Monday. Welcome to Smash Masters podcast.
Hey, we're back.
Yeah,
We skipped
finally.
last Monday. I know people were wondering, hey, where are these guys at? I want to have a podcast. I want to have something to listen to while I'm working. Where are you guys at? We're here tonight. We're here tonight.
Tell them
Uh,
like you mean it. Jeez, okay.
Look, I've already heard it. Okay, I've heard the stuff. I've been summoned. Hey, have a podcast tonight. We need something to listen to while we're working. So we're here. I think we're gonna have a good episode. It's 93.
Yeah, episode 93, collision repair, PDR,
Mhm.
and so let's yeah, so I just wrapped up. I mean, we're at the end of the month.
Right.
I totaled up some numbers for my first solo month doing PDR.
Yeah.
And yeah, all I could say is I pretty much doubled the most I ever made in a body shop in a month.
Right.
So that's not too bad
That's
starting
not
out.
too bad at all. So, I'm assuming that all means really good, even though I'm sure you had some days in between that you maybe done nothing.
Sure. Yeah, I felt like
Um,
I didn't do much work this month at all. I mean, I feel like I worked more on the house than I did doing PDR,
yeah.
but that's awesome, So if that's the eh, good work-life balance, but if I can even use that time effectively and then,
Mhm.
or use the time to grow the business further,
Right.
why not? But
Yeah. Why not?
definitely happy with my first month. I definitely had a backlog from people calling
Mhm.
me while I was working in a body shop, so I took care of that. So it has slowed down a little bit. I'm able to schedule people closer to when they call me, which they like,
Mhm.
so I'm
Yeah,
having
they
a
like
better
that.
close rate. So, it is, I'm happy. I'm ecstatic. There's today I finished. I got to my first appointment at 9 o'clock. I didn't have any other appointments. I finished it
Mhm.
in 45 minutes. So I drove
Right.
home. Well, actually, I drove to the park and the dog and I went for a walk. And then we came home and I worked on the house. Couldn't
Right.
big smile on my face, couldn't be happier. Best Monday. Excuse me, best Monday ever.
Yeah. It sounds like it's been going pretty good, and
Yeah.
some of those downtimes, I know you probably hadn't had enough because you had like a backlog. So finally smash. What's up, Louis?
What's up, Louis?
So, you didn't have enough time to have like an overwhelming sense of what the hell have I done?
No.
I went from here to here, and now because you have backlog stuff, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I like
No,
that.
no, it'll come. Slow times will
Yeah,
come.
yeah,
It
yeah,
it is gonna be frustrating, but so far, so good. It's been really good.
yeah.
So, next onward and upwards, I had a few videos go viral, some on TikTok, some on Facebook, and
Yeah.
it's actually been getting me a lot of calls for work. Uh,
TikTok. I mean, people were saying that TikTok was kind of like yesterday, but it's still kicking right under the right circumstance. And I mean,
it
do you want to share that formula for other people, or you kind of want to just keep it a secret?
There's no secrets. I've taught it. I've taught it in
Yeah.
different ways.
Okay.
There's rumors about me possibly teaching it in Gene's All Access, or not All Access, in Gene's, in Jean's,
Uh-huh.
what do they call it? The level up training that they have in the
Yeah.
future. I've been thinking about putting a course online about what I know about social media, and it mostly has to do with TikTok, but,
Mhm. What's up,
I
Matt?
mean, it's a good place to start, so but yeah, no, I just I've never done social media for my own business before.
Mhm.
Now I am. It's a whole different world. So
Right.
I'm learning. Later I can teach others how to apply that to their businesses as well. So
Right. I heard you say earlier, I usually schedule a lot of my morning appointments for around 8:30 to 9 o'clock.
mhm.
Some 8, just depending, if it's at like a body shop or something. But 9 o'clock is good for your average retail customer, right? I
I
mean,
haven't had anybody say no. I
yeah,
have had a few people seem to be a little groggy, like I woke them up for the appointment.
right. That seems like for those people that is like you don't really want to go below 9 o'clock.
Right. That's why I do 9 because
Yeah.
otherwise I'd show up at 6.
Right.
Like I'm that kind of person.
If you have to go to a body shop and do work, fine.
Yeah,
Go there and you can be early.
I
But
asked the first guy.
for the average retail person, at 9 o'clock, just schedule them for that. I feel like that's a good round number. I've tried to do it earlier, and they're like, "Nah, nah." I don't even like that idea at all.
Yeah, that seems to be a good time. I mean, it's
Mhm.
I schedule the first one around 9, and then usually people have had their coffee by then, and then a price can hit them, and they aren't upset. So
Yeah. Right.
that's important too.
Right. No, that's good. That's good. That's good. I
No,
like that.
but it's been good. I've been really happy with the changing over of lifestyles. I'm learning new ways to organize my business. I'm able to apply all my thought process to that. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's been fun. See
Or
where we go from here.
and you have to change your mindset too. You have to change your mindset.
Entirely.
So that's big
Entirely.
for people. You can't let your emotions run your facts. You kind of just throw those out there, and if whatever happens at that point, um, you just got to make sure your facts line up, and if they don't work out, then it's no harm, no foul. You can
I
reach
feel
an agreement.
I feel like the answer to a lot of my issues so far
Mm.
has just been honesty.
Right.
Honesty. I mean, especially when you're dealing with the customers and everything like that. I mean, there was something where I scheduled somebody at the same time I had a vet appointment scheduled. So I told him, I said, listen, man, I scheduled you during a vet appointment. I'd like to keep the vet appointment. Do you mind if I show up an hour later? And he's like, oh yeah, no problem. I hope your dog is fine.
Yeah.
Whereas, if you just go and use something that's clearly, a lie, or just be blatantly or just vague or something like that, I feel like that doesn't work
Mhm.
as well. So anyway, it was just an example, but
I got that. No, that's good. That's good. Well, I mean, I'm glad you had a good first month. I'm sure everybody that's watching is also like, cheering you on and that kind of stuff. So
I feel
uh,
it. I
that that
feel the
that
love and support.
that's awesome. That's awesome to see that. We're always rooting for people, especially when they step out their comfort zone. You know, well as I do, if you stay in the comfort zone, you're never gonna get better. You're never gonna rise. But man, them uncomfortable moments, man, make you a better person, a bigger person. And they'll do it fast.
For sure, for sure.
All right, well, let's get Eugene out here and see what he's got going on.
What up, Shuddy?
What's up, Ryan? Jesse.
Hey, there he is.
What's going
up, guys?
on?
What's going on, man? So you told me how to say your last name, but I'm gonna have you say it.
I avoided it.
Smiechowski.
Smiechowski. All right.
Smiechowski. Yeah,
So
I looked at that and I said, I'm not doing that. No, not today. Not today.
I feel you.
So you post as the
Rick?
body shop coach,
Yes, sir.
which is clearly a topic that we are interested in.
Okay.
So tell us what you were thinking when you made that channel. What's the goal?
Well,
Mission statement.
so I guess the mission statement is I've been around a lot of the old schools and I'm seeing a lot of the new kids come in. And besides the fact that a lot of people have their differences and a lot of people have their own ways, their own techniques, is a lot of the older generation, and I'm not picking anybody, they're set in their ways, right? And which is not a problem. They're usually pretty thorough and they do their job the same way. But they have a very strange relationship. And what I mean by that is they're not really too caring about the new generation coming. And then when we come to the new generation coming in, and again, I'm not picking on anybody, but they're almost like sissies in a sense. It's just like you guys, they're a lot of them are just crybabies, and a lot of shop owners are in the spot where they need to hire people. They hired this guy, and he thinks because he might be just a little bit better than somebody else, like he's gold, and it's just like you didn't build this. It ain't if you want to go do it on your own, go do it on your own. But you didn't build this as his shop, you know. And I was a young kid myself too, so seeing where I came from and where I am now, it's just like, all right, we need someone to start kind of speaking on I guess rhythm, and I don't know how to explain it really. It's just people need to hear, I guess.
A different perspective on a topic or something that it might not be all out there in the open like it should be, or if it is, it's kind of hard to access the information for most people.
Yeah, a lot of
And
people don't want to have it. A lot of I had a comment that someone said the body shop's not dying; it's just changing. It's like
mhm,
no, I mean, it is. He's right; it is changing, but
Hmm.
we're killing it. The insurance has helped killing it. It's going to become like a robotic thing. Not really like it's all going to be operated by robots, but it's just coming so robotic um, and especially with like I said, with the new generation coming in, they're so nitpicky, and a lot of people, like a lot of shops down here that I've been to, these younger kids just they're on their phone a lot. Okay, I don't care what you do. It's your money you're making, but
Hmm.
mhm,
on their phone they don't want to do hard jobs, and then when they are doing pretty good hits, they're repairing them and they look like trash, and it's just like because they
right.
don't know how to replace a quarter panel. It's like, guys.
So I guess to get like a good full understanding of the where you're coming from and how you do that, we don't really know your background. So if you'll give us like an
Yeah.
overview of the front, like where you started
Okay.
from to the now point, so we can kind of, gauge who you are and how you come to like some of these conclusions. Yeah, go like where did you start from?
So when I got out of high school, my buddy had an uncle who had his own like shop. He would do car lot
Mhm.
cars. I started doing car lot cars at 19.
Okay.
We'd be painting in the garage. No booth, no nothing, putting car lot cars together. And I would go with him, and then I kind of branched off from there a little bit, just going to car lots. Kind of piggybacking off of what he was doing. So I go to my regular job and go to these car lots, and then I kind of got out of it. I lived up in Indiana, and I started working for an RV company.
Okay.
So then in the RV industry, then I was working in the paint section and stuff like that. Also, I work in other departments, but in the paint department, and then I seen it was a whole different animal. So
Mhm.
I'm like,
Okay.
I'm learning. And then I got into my first dealership, and that was a whole different animal because all I knew was car lot cars, RV repair, and now we're doing where you got to have procedures. The hours are different because you're getting paid by category.
Okay. So
And
how many years was it in the car lot shop?
the car lot, that was probably, I was 19 to about 22, 23.
So a
Okay.
good 3 years. All right. So then
Yep.
how many years in the RV shop?
Let's see here. I would say it was about 27. So probably another 4 years.
So you did about 3 years more learning the body side of this job, and then you switched over to the paint side with RVs.
Yep.
Did I hear? Okay.
Mhm.
And that's some interesting paint work when it comes to the RV paint work because they got
Yeah.
those graphics and
I've
stuff. So
done
you
some of
Mhm.
got to
that before.
learn.
Well, sometimes it's striped on, and then on when that stripe is cut, it's it's sanded out. Sorry, something popped on my screen, and then
Mhm.
it's actually painted. It's
Okay.
weird how it's done. It's like a gel coat thing, almost like a boat, but it's not.
Yeah.
It depends on what area you're working on, but yeah, a lot of
Okay.
those stripes would be sticky, vinyled on, and then
Okay.
if it got scratched, or something it'd be getting painted. Like, I'm not,
What?
I really didn't work on the when we do the striping, but I would work on the front caps if there's cracks in the fiberglass, repair the fiberglass,
Okay.
prime it, and then blow the gel coat on that front cap.
Yeah.
Okay.
The top stuff, because a lot of the older people how RVs companies work is seniority. So they got once someone quit this job that they wanted, they get that job and no one's taking it. So they would give
Mm.
a new guy coming in the shit jobs, or
Hmm.
sorry for the language, the crap
No,
jobs.
you're
And
good. You're fine. It's auto
so
body show. We're good.
I'd be working on a ladder up top all day, up and down, grabbing my gun, grabbing primer, grabbing, fiberglass, all that crap, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
just going back and forth. But that kind of got wore out because at that time, RV industry started to drop, started to tank.
Oh.
And in
Okay.
that year, everything was front end loaded. We had a lot of orders in the beginning of the year, but by the time the end of the year, we're scraping for hours and all that crap. So it's just like, well, let me go back to what I was doing. what I knew. So I kind of jumped back into car lot cars, but this guy's like, "Hey, why don't you go over to this dealership? You'd be good over there." I'm like, "Okay." So I went over there, got the job, took all my
Okay.
tools over there,
Okay.
and you know, that was a whole different animal. And
Sure. Yeah.
I was a, I would say a retard. What they would call a hack, because a car like car, you can get by because it's someone buying that car for the first time,
Yeah.
and they don't know. They're just seeing a shiny new piece of metal sitting on
Right.
a car lot. They want to, and a lot of the shops or a lot of the car lots I was doing it for was buy here, pay here. So
Yeah.
these people don't got a lot of money. They're just coming in here to buy a shiny car. It's tax time, whatever it may be, and they're like, "Hey, this fender could be wavier and hang ten. It's just wave
Right.
and
Right.
but it's shiny." They put the money down. They write off with the thing. It didn't
Right.
matter what it looked like.
Right.
Right.
But so the dealer, so you're at the dealer now,
Oh
and
man,
they're expecting a little
yeah,
bit more quality work. So,
yeah,
at this point, when you started at the dealer, were you starting a job that was more body or paint, or was it combo
body,
tech? Oh, it was all
body.
Body.
body. And
Yeah,
were
no
you,
combo.
is that what you wanted to do? Like, did you
Yeah,
say, screw this paint stuff? I want to do
yeah.
body
So
work?
to be honest with you, because I don't like wearing masks, and know a lot of people have
Mhm.
their feelings about masks, but I hate
Right.
wearing masks, and I would just be, by the end of the day, I'm spraying in the RV industry, and by the end of the day, I was just wore out, tired because I was breathing in this crap all day,
Mhm.
and so I really just didn't like it. But when I would do the body work, no problem. I ran with it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
I get
I
it.
love the body work.
Oddly enough, when I started out, my goal was to be a painter, a custom painter,
Yeah,
and pinstriper. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
yeah, what a strange turn that made.
yeah,
Well, I mean, it's when
Yeah.
I decided I wanted to work on cars. I went to a trade school and
Yeah.
I toured the trade school, not knowing whether I wanted to be a mechanic or a body tech.
hmm
Yeah.
At the end of the tour, I made up my mind because they were like, "So, what do you want to do?" Because I got at that point, that's where you sign up,
Mhm.
and
yep,
it's like, "Oh, I want to make cars look good."
Yeah. Right.
That's
Right.
what it was, and I thank God I went that way. I mean, really, it's mechanical looks and there are many times I was like, man, I should have been a mechanic, but it was the
no,
easier path, and from what I look at, and mechanics, don't be offended by that. You have a hard job, but eh, bodywork's another animal, and
It's different.
I'm glad I went the route I did, and I know what I know now.
Mhm.
So, and just watching the mechanics getting screwed on
oh
warranty
yeah,
labor times and everything,
I
I'm just
couldn't
like,
be a mechanic.
no, I couldn't do that.
I don't think I ever. I don't think I ever would have grown patience, because it's something that wears you thin daily.
Right.
And the politics in those shops are worse than body shops, believe it
Oh
or
yeah,
not.
I agree. I agree
It's
with that.
it's horrible in
yeah.
service shops. So, and that in turn makes it
Maybe.
not an easier job. Just it's just a different atmosphere.
Right.
hmm
No, that's
But
that's
anyway,
true. That's true.
but yeah, that's how I ended up with body, just kind of a flip of a coin a little bit. It's just like, oh, that one's
At the end of the
pretty
day,
pretty.
you gotta make one choice or the other. You gotta leave the options off the table and just go with one. I mean,
Yep,
at the end of the day. So
it is what it is.
Yeah,
where you
absolutely.
landed. Where
But
you landed.
oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But so, and another thing, part of the reason why it leans into this pretty hard is, um, which it's kind of a hard topic for me to talk about, because it might make me look bad, but I really don't care. And that's another thing I've grown to learn is, in the body shop or in any kind of trade, you got to kind of have thick skin.
Yep.
You have to. People are gonna run you over. People are gonna run their mouth. People are gonna see you for who you are while you're there. And some years ago, we were doing some traveling, and a lot of people don't know this. I got a handicap son, like full handicap,
Okay.
and this was back in 2021, and I had got into drinking a lot, and then the drinking got into doing some drugs. I was doing a lot. I started doing cocaine bad.
Okay.
And I was running. I was still to me in my head, maybe I wasn't, but I was still doing my job. But I noticed, and I was doing it with a lot of people I was working with, and it was just, and a lot of other people, then you realize a lot of other people um, are in the same weird boat. And then, and I realized I tried leaving this spot to go to this spot, but it was following me and following me. So one of
Right.
my biggest things that I've tried talking about is drugs and alcohol are not part of the, you know, it should not be part of the process.
Mhm.
And, and that's not because of, I wasn't trying to be weak at the time. I was just really weak at the time.
Mhm.
And so I do have a gray area um, where there is some people that know me in another state that probably absolutely hate me because I was not in the right mind. They hired me. They pretty much not flew me, but I paid for my travel to get out there.
Mhm.
I did all the thing, but I'm messed up because my brain is trying to numb something, and I think a lot of people need. And I'm not trying to be a savior here. I'm not. That's not
No,
what I'm.
no. Hey,
But I want people to like,
Yeah, yeah.
because it is a hardcore thing, and that's a lot of places I've been. A lot of people are always they're either drinking. A lot of people have pill problems. Like
Mhm.
the shop I'm currently dealing with right now. And it's just like I've tried talking to the guy, but that's just the way he is, and
No.
I just know it put a stain on my heart. So like I changed, a couple years ago, and um,
Sure. I mean, everybody, whether they want to talk about it or not, everybody struggles with something.
yeah,
Everybody struggles with something different. And it's really good that you can get up here and talk and tell your story like that, because it
Have the
shows that
courage.
it shows a healing side of you that
yeah,
you've overcome. Else
oh
you
yeah,
wouldn't be able to be up here and do it. You know what I mean?
oh yes, sir,
And that's the kind of stuff that people, believe it or not, really like to hear. They love to hear real talk stories, like, overcoming something like just like you're talking about. So please carry on.
yeah. So I kind of on that basis, I knew I was in a very, I was I was not doing right by the owner of the shop. Regardless if
Absolutely
I would have
not.
just kept it to the weekend, right? And you could do your
Mhm.
crap on the weekend, and I say that
Right.
to people too. You know what? You want to do your crap on the weekend. But the fact is, I let him down,
Mhm.
and I think in this time of day, I don't think people really give a crap about letting people down. So I think about it all the time. I let that guy down. I I wasted him a lot of money because I would hate if someone wasted a lot of my money. And
Right.
so it's just one of these things. Okay, let's cut out the let's cut out the bull crap, and then what you should be doing while you're at work, how to maximize your times, how to help everybody out. Like, because, and another big thing in the body shop is, that I was around a lot is everybody was so separated. It's like, that's not my job. I tear it down. They're supposed to do the SMR. It's like, no, no, no. Like, I understand where you're coming from, but the
Mhm.
biggest, the biggest thing here is we're supposed to be like a well-oiled machine. And, I could look over there, see you're having struggling, put a hood on, and say, well, it's not my job. That's your car again.
Yeah.
It could go either which way, but so
No
I kind of,
aspect of teamwork.
yeah,
It's yeah.
Mhm.
I've seen it.
it gets real selfish.
Mhm.
No,
So,
it does. It does. It's free to give somebody a compliment, though, you
yep,
know, and that's hard to find.
yep. I try.
But
I mean, I try to just be
oh,
positive.
right, right. Unless you've been able to admit the deep downs that you've been into, it really doesn't mean anything to you, though.
Yeah.
And once you come back from that, then it's just so easy to throw out random compliments, even to people you don't even know, to people you
Yeah.
see winning.
Hmm.
That's an awesome thing.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Mike.
that's
But sorry,
cool.
I took that a little too a turn. Let's get back to some questions, I guess.
Hey, that's fine. I mean, people like it. I mean,
No, you're good. You're good. No, Nick's right. We've if people might not talk about it, doesn't mean they're not struggling with
mhm.
things. So definitely appreciate you having the courage to talk about stuff like that.
And from what I'm seeing, from what I'm hearing, you took that and then you turned it into fuel to say, hey, let's take this body shop career stuff seriously. Let's stop playing around with some of these things, and let's really like put a pen to a paper and see what we can really do with a lot of these things, such as like procedures, how to actually maximize your profit, what to do, like as far as like blueprinting an actual panel. Because a lot of shops, believe it or not, don't do that. They don't know how to do it, or if they do, they feel like it's worthless. And I know that's what you're coming up with. I know that's what you're trying to do. So let's see how you come up with some of that stuff. What are some of your ideas that you're throwing out here?
So some of the biggest thing is blueprinting, because
Mm-hmm.
now,
I agree.
regardless, like I say, regardless if you're writing on a piece of paper, writing it on the side of the car, it keeps you accountable and it keeps the estimator accountable. Because what I'm seeing right now in a lot of these shops that I'm dealing with is the estimators they got a big job. I'm not trying to count estimators down.
Mm-hmm.
Their job deals with every single employee that they're doing a supplement or creating an estimate for, the customer, the insurance company, emails back and forth, parts. It's a full job all day, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like it keeps you moving. It's almost, some of them don't even got time for lunch, but they gotta maintain and take their lunch, which 100% I'd take my lunch too.
Right.
But when you got a body guy that isn't willing to take the extra step, what the shop is trying to minimize is supplements and their outdates.
Mm-hmm.
So if we could just take an extra 5 minutes, write all this stuff down, again, regardless, on a piece of paper on the side of the car, and get it to the estimator, and he takes a picture of it, however he wants to do it, keeps you accountable, because again, the body guy is the repair expert. You're the one working on the car, you're the expert.
Right.
The estimator is to generate the best estimate forward for the customer / insurance company. Now, it's hard to do that thoroughly when the tech isn't relaying certain things, the estimator's not seeing certain things, and it's supplement, new outdate, customer calling another outdate, customer calling further outdate, customer calling further outdate. It's just
Right.
it's like a rubber band, just keeps stretching. We can't keep stretching the same rubber band over and over again. It's gonna break.
I like that.
Right. So I'm going to throw this topic out here because we've talked
Yes, sir.
about it a few times, but do you see this more in flat rate or hourly based technicians?
It would be flat rate, just because hourly shops, they kind of got, it's like almost like a slower pace, but they're moving. They're consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, flat rate is because sometimes, and this happens to a lot of techs that are the bigger techs, they're overloaded all the time. So not doing 100% teardowns. So they get away from themselves because they got this one tear down, this one tear down, this one to get the paint, and this one to trim out so they can get it, because the boss in the office saying this one's got to go today. And it's just like,
Right.
well, I've been waiting on this part, but I had to do this. It's like, so flat rate is a very intense situation sometimes, especially when the buildup and the momentum of so many cars in and out, and it may be the front desk is just over scheduling. I'm not sure what the deal
Right.
is sometimes, but sometimes it gets way overwhelming, or a lot of cars come in at that one time that look like small hitch and tear coming apart, and the frame rails are looking like someone with a lazy eye, and it's just like,
Yeah.
at 3 back to back to back is like, what the fuck?
So while we can say someone is quote unquote a tech or whatever, the most important guy, you can learn all the tactics and stuff on how to repair, but we kind of leave behind the aspect of how to be organized, how to be efficient,
Organization.
and those kind of things. We had an art. It wasn't. It was a discussion. Is what we had. Bag or boxes. What do you put your bolts and label them in?
Bag.
I do mine bags. Stefan loves the boxes, but either way, as long as you're organized, as long as you can be efficient, as long as you can be clean, those right there are what's going to minimize a ton of those problems that you just mentioned. One, of being overwhelmed. If you got a really nice time schedule, you can maximize your setup times if you go by those schedules. Now, obviously, that's why most people get overwhelmed and underlook all this stuff, is because, well, they're not using that efficiently. So I think that's one thing that people should look at and really think about. I don't see anybody talking about technician efficiency.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you might have, I don't know, but if you have, please fill me in on it.
No, I mean, I feel like I should brush up on that a little bit more. I've been kind of focused on, because I do a lot of, for a PDR guy, estimates online. I do, and then how I got into that is a buddy of mine. He was Spanish, up north. Get his other buddy opened up a shop, and he wasn't hanging on right with insurance companies. And Omar would, they're, um, they, I don't know how to say this without sounding racist. They're not articulating it correctly. They don't know how to, like, I
The
guess, gauge the
communication is just not there between the two. There's a language barrier, so to speak.
exactly the language barrier.
Okay.
So I started helping this guy out, and then all of a sudden he's got buddies in Texas. So like, hey, and so it was like, hey, call him. And then so I get this random call like, hey, can blah blah, can you look this over? Like, it's blah blah. So I'm like, yeah. So they would just start sending me, can you look this one over? And I'm like, yeah, $50. Just $50, $50, $50. And then so they ting right there. They'd sell me the $50, and I'd run through it real quick, tell them what they're missing, blah blah blah. And they'd give me a thumbs up, and they'd be like, call me on Friday or something, like, blah 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 blah. And it was a good thing. So I'm like,
yeah.
And then all of a sudden it started jumping around, and the Texas part was the biggest part, because those guys in Texas, I'm not sure if you guys are in Texas. I think you're West Virginia.
I'm in Mississippi. He's in Connecticut. So
Connecticut. Yeah. So yeah, you're up there. Sorry, I was just talking to a guy in West Virginia, but yeah, those Texas guys, the Spanish ones, they stick together. It doesn't matter if they have a shop here, there, or there. Those guys stick together. And that one guy in Texas led me to a multiple other guys that would just, hey. So it was like my day was almost half full just on going through estimates, and I could blow through 20 of them real quick.
Nice.
In like 5 hours, and there's my money right there. And I'm just like, so I'm like, I should stick to this. But I started doing this binder because I'm like, okay, I know there's a lot more shops out there that actually aren't getting to stick in the business. There a lot of shops are hiring estimators kind of, and just kind of throwing them into the mix. And it's kind of seeming like, what do you guys like? Why would you not understand why they got to do that? But it's just like, sometimes you got to take a little bit of time with this guy and like walk through a car with him or her and show them the impact for, just like, hey, this and this. And they're not. And then I get I started having a lot of text message me saying, man, my estimator. And I'm like, well, I'm actually, and I would told a lot of them, I'm actually working on something that could alleviate that. So, but yeah, so I haven't really been talking about that about organization stuff, which I am going to get on that. I think I will start on
technician efficiency is a big thing, because when you don't have a set goal, when you don't have a set path, you create anxiety, and anxiety creates an emotion of overwhelming sensitivity. It just blows it all out of proportion. But if you've got a straight path to go to, you don't have to worry about that. But on the other flip side of that, Daniel here, he's talking about tech needs to write the supplement on the car, basically holding the estimator accountable and making sure that poor communication does not run throughout the body shop. So have you seen anything that works really well in these type of environments?
Yeah. So, and to be honest, it's really simple. Like the old version KISS, keep it simple. And just to be honest with you, keep it simple and just have a great attitude about it. It is what it is. You got to be there anyway. Just have a good attitude. Stop. I feel like a lot of when you are in that situation, or those people who put themselves in these anxiety, stress situations, they create an enemy with the people around them in the shop,
100%.
especially. And it's just like, why are you? And then it comes to the gossip and back and forth, and I hate gossip, but it is what it is. But it's always usually the same class of people, and it's just like, bro, you got to take a step back and look at how you're managing your stuff.
Right.
It's just like, but at the end of the day, it's just keep it simple and just stay positive. I mean, as positive as you can be.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Michael says like techs have to keep up with their training and efficiency. Estimator
Yep.
training and efficiency kind of gets pushed behind in most shops.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
know
correct.
that a lot of shops feel like having an estimator is a valuable part in their system. I just at least down in my area, it's 50-50.
Yep.
They either have a estimator manager and they're doing really great, or the shop just does average mediocre stuff. And it's, one guy doing every single thing. And he thinks, I don't need a guy to
Mhm.
do this.
Yep.
And I don't really know why that is, but I know myself personally from working in a shop with an estimator. If you've got really good communication in flat rate scenarios, then it's really easy to do really well and be efficient and do all that other stuff if you just know a few steps that are really not even collision related at all. It's just
Yep.
life related.
Hmm.
And that, again, that's one of the things that I do not see people talking about. I see people talking about how to get more time on seam
Yeah.
sealer and how to make it look better and all that stuff,
Yeah.
but
You're right.
I don't see enough topic being talked about in this area. So,
I think I will. To be honest with you, I feel like my stuff hasn't been as controversial as I would kind of want it to be, and I feel like that might get a little controversy. And
yeah.
but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, and Daniel's right though. And I was actually thinking about something today. Is a lot of the body guys got to pay for their own tools when they,
Mhm.
to keep moving forward. They got to pay for their whole way through.
Yeah.
Estimators kind of get catered to, and they're still
Mhm.
doing kind of slop jobs. It's just
Right.
like they got all the new AI platforms, all this extra crap they can go to, and just it's almost a mindless game, and it's so
Mhm.
mindless, and it's just like they've taken the worth ethic out of it, and they're becoming lazy and dependent on this crap, and it's just like
Mhm.
I won't. If I could get people just to go back to keeping it simple, like the old P pages. I don't know if you guys know about the P
Oh
pages.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Go back to P pages days. You need to know this job from front to back without all this crap first.
Yeah. Right.
Mm.
I know. And for new techs coming through, my tool bill throughout every year was between $2,500 to $5,000 to $6,000
Yep.
every year.
At
Yep.
least. Oh,
At least,
I think
and
I did
that was
more than
just
that.
that was just for me. Like I wasn't one who had to buy every single thing, but I
Yep.
know I could go on there and spend $3,000 to $5,000 a year every single year just to keep up with the trade. So
Yep.
um you kind of have to factor that in, which is not 3 to 5,000 is not a lot in the grand scheme of things as far as your ROI is concerned. But at the same time, it does need to be factored in.
Hmm.
For sure.
Well,
For sure.
they can't have a counter argument, but like, well, you guys get paid more than us. It's like, well,
Mhm.
I mean, we're taking our skill, you know, we're building here, and but
Yeah.
again, I'm not
You
going
better
to
turn the
fight the two.
volume
They
down.
are two different animals.
Yeah.
Uh,
No. Yeah. I get that. I just wanted that to, if anybody's new looking through and you wanted to have this trade for 20 plus years, just know that you're going to eventually have to put in at least that amount in tools. But your
Mhm.
ROI could be, you could have $100,000 a year job and minus your taxes and stuff. I mean, $5,000 over the course of the year isn't that much.
right.
No.
So, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, yeah, you see guys on the tool truck buying this, that, and the other, and you think, oh, they're spending all their money on this and that, whatever. But that does make you more money, believe it or not.
More money, more
Mhm.
efficient. That's exactly right. I mean, people tell me all the time, "Why'd you buy such a crazy big toolbox?" It's like, sure, I could have gone a little bit smaller, but big toolboxes have their purpose. I have a
Yeah.
drawer and
Mhm.
a place for every tool, nothing stacked on each other.
Hmm.
That way, when I need a tool, I know exactly where it is. And when that tool's missing, it's obvious because I open the drawer and there's an open spot right where it's supposed to be.
Yep.
Makes you a more efficient technician getting more done.
Mhm.
I just I not to totally reverse a little bit, but also on efficiency, you guys are talking about good communication in a
Mhm.
process. Best thing I ever heard was let's remove communication from the process as much as possible. Because I mean, no matter what, you're gonna have days where, you don't want to go talk to that person. You don't want to have to tell them that you just did this, or you don't want to go ask if all the parts are here for the millionth time,
Right.
So like to have a process where that technician can then go look at the cart and boom, there's a list and everything's checked off. That shows me all the parts are here. I didn't have to talk to anybody. And I know I can put this car together.
Yep.
So
that's good, and that is a real good key as far as like steps and getting to the next level and all that stuff. But when it comes to that kind of stuff, you said it earlier in the first part of the podcast, just you have to be honest with both yourself and the people around you. And if you do that, that type of communication is going to make for a positive impact in a shop instead of being negative. Well, like Eugene said earlier, well, this ain't my job. I don't need it. Why do I need to help you put a hood on or take it off? That has nothing to do with me. But
it's not on my estimate.
Those are the type of communications that I'm talking about as far as standards go. I mean, you have to have something like that through there.
Yeah, totally agree.
And again, time frames
so that's there's a positive right there for the hourly mindset, like you were talking about. It's a little bit slower, but in the same respect, I've always worked hourly. So in my mind, somebody comes over and asks me to go put a hood on, I get a break from whatever I'm doing. I don't think, oh, I'm not getting paid for this, because no matter what, if I'm clocked in, I'm getting paid, so there's an aspect that's good for the company, and good for teamwork.
No, that's good. And just for people on hourly that think flat rate, you don't have time to do anything. You have time to do pretty much anything.
Absolutely.
It's not, and I know you know this. But again, I'm speaking for people that might be new or discouraged from people. Like you have time to do things. It's just the time management is placed into your hands instead of someone else's. Everything you do, every bit of money you make is based on what you can do. That's the difference between flat rate and hourly. That's
whether it's written on the estimate or not. Whether you get in time for it or not. If it needs to get done to get the car out the door, you got to realize that it's getting you paid.
Sure.
Yeah.
Never be too big to help somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good.
Very cool. Okay. So I mean, to jump onto a different topic here. I mean, back to the technician side. I mean, so was there? Let's ask the question we normally ask everybody. So as a technician, how long do you think it took you from when you started to when you felt comfortable doing a job from start to finish?
I would say probably about almost 2 years. And I'm giving myself a little bit of leeway on that. It's just because sometimes, or at some point, like I'm trying to remember back. I just remember I was trying to think about this question the other day, and I just remember the guy I was working with wasn't doing big jobs.
Okay.
So when I jumped in and tried doing it myself, it was just like I was like the first time I did a quarter panel by myself, I'm like, like, oh man, or a rear body, or a whole trunk floor with a rail and a rear body. I'm just like, oh man. I remember I got those all within the first 2 years, and I was just like, but I pushed through it.
First 2 years at the dealership we're talking about now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then but usually there are great guys at the body shop. So on the other side of this, let's not talk about the bad guys. There are. So like I would go get an older guy that, that's been there, like the guy that the mentor of the shop, and usually every shop's got that guy. Let's call him Dave. And I'd go get old Dave over here and be like, Dave, and he'd be like, yeah, just do here, blah blah blah, and just and blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, and I just, because I've always been good welding, so I'm like, okay, the welding's not a bad part. It's where to cut, why. Can we do it here? Well, no, you got to do it, and so it's like there's a variable. It's like, okay, here, where's your procedure? See, okay, I got the stack of procedures like this, and it's Okay, you see here? No, it says here like you could section this part right here by so many millimeters here to here. So it's like okay, and so it's learning because I didn't know nothing about procedures when I went to OEM. I was just thought just cut this or do that or splice
Right.
this. It's just like,
Mhm.
but even in the car lot side of things, I never spliced, never cut. We would just cave and pave.
Right.
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 I don't care if that dent was this far in. We're
Yeah.
using this much bond, but just
Yeah.
Yeah.
we would push it out as much as possible though, and then just wipe that
Mhm.
thing. Rockers, and I grew up in the up north, right there on the Michigan line, so rockers were gone. So what we would do is create rockers. That's what I
Yeah.
was doing. I was an artist. Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Hey,
kidding.
no, when I first got into it, and that's what bodywork was. I mean, it was patch panels. It was,
Hmm.
I mean, people were joking, stuff it full of newspaper and ramen, like whatever.
Mhm.
But
Oh,
it's,
styrofoam.
yeah, but it was,
I've seen a mixture of all that
Nick,
stuff.
Nick was doing clipping cars,
Mhm.
so like it's,
Actually, along with this guy right here, Jordan, he's been a long, long time friend of mine. So we've had our own battles together, but man, it's been fun.
What do you
It's
mean
been
by
fun.
clipping cars? Is that when you're sectioning
Short
two together?
clipping, cut the back end of the car off and put a
Yeah.
new one on.
I've only seen that done one time, and I was amazed. I was
I
like,
saw it
Yeah,
once too.
that is
Yeah, just
good.
once.
yeah. Between we had done a bunch of them back in the days. It was a different time. Like back though in those days, like PDR to me would have been like, what is that even? That's lame
Yeah.
compared to what we're doing. Um, it's a whole different animal, whole different mindset, a whole different body set structure, body
Yeah.
shop structure in general. Um, but I did learn a lot out of it. So I mean, I'm glad I went down that road. I do not regret it one
Yeah.
bit.
I kind of want to try it, to be honest. Like I said, I've only watched it and I've only seen it one time, but
Mm,
I've always wanted to get that far into something where I'm
yeah.
piecing two puzzles to make
I
one.
mean, it's
You're
it's
not.
really it's really cool to take a car and put it together, and the doors open and close and everything, all
Hmm.
the gaps and all your welds look really nice, and all you have to do is just do a light little bit of mud work and just send it on its way. Of course, the small stuff you don't look at, gas tanks and fuel lines, brake lines, and all that stuff, you got to move out of the
Yep.
way. Um, you know, that's a whole different story, but it's still fun. It was fun. It was a good time, and yeah, I don't regret it at all.
So for the record, it's not really allowed anymore.
Yeah,
If you don't want liability. I mean, you could do it all you want, but then you got
yeah,
the liability on that car,
2010 and
So
older.
it's
right,
that's all
right.
on you if they crash and that car goes hurt.
Uh,
Yeah,
Like you better make sure you did a good job.
Let me just
Uh
say, for the record, I would do it to something that I own.
yeah,
right.
okay. Yeah, no, I get it. I,
Yeah,
I
no.
understand it for sure. It'd be a good field bomber. I mean, you see those videos of the guys who cut the cars in half and then they start up the front half anyway and start driving it away.
Hmm.
Yeah. Looks
Yeah.
like fun.
If I had some land, I'd do some stupid stuff like that.
I mean, it is. It's different. It's not like your average normal
Nick's like,
body
we
race.
did that last week.
I didn't do it last week, but
No,
yeah, whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, if they saw it, you'd understand. Yeah, there's been some. It's crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna get off that topic. But um, what are some things that you're seeing right now that you're really focused on in addressing the shop in its current state? I heard you. We talked about it earlier, and I kind of cut you off a little bit. You're talking about in between the younger techs and the older techs.
Yeah.
Like, are you are
So,
we are we trying to just put like a little bridge between the two, or?
so I feel like there's a disconnect because a lot of the older techs, especially when they're and not all of them, but though what I'm kind of leaning towards is the more disgruntled ones, the ones that already hate
Mhm,
the industry because insurance, fucking blah blah blah. That's retard in the office, but
mhm,
they're already coming to the end of their career, and they kind of just hate the body shop life now.
right,
I hear a lot of I should have just done something else 20 years ago.
mhm,
And then you got new techs coming in hearing that, and not that they're scared of that, but they just don't want to deal with that guy. And then this guy might be the older guy might be throwing out real life ways to do something, but this guy's already got it tuned in his head, this younger guy, that I'm not even gonna listen to this old man.
Right.
And so it becomes a disconnect. People, the younger guys got to listen to the older guys, and the older guys got to lighten up a little bit. It is, you chose to stay here. Yeah, things might suck. You might not like a lot of things, and we all don't like a lot of things. But to kill the industry on the people coming in, or to kill it for them, it's just like we really don't need this. We need to turn this back around. We need to turn this back up. And I would say to the younger generation is, if you do master the skill, and even not even master it, but if you do keep moving forward and keep learning stuff, you're going to be way ahead of a lot of people fast. You're going to be so much ahead of these people that you'll have, it won't matter where you go, you'll be able to go. And and that opens the door to gaining respect from customers, especially when the shop starts getting known for more quality work, and the boss is like, hey, this guy. And then maybe you start your own YouTube or TikTok, your own social media channel, and you let them see behind the scenes that you're actually the guy doing the work. That opens a different line of communication, to where you can potentially just go right off on your own. And that now you got people that were going here that be like, well, this is the guy that was doing it, I might as well go to him. And just be respectful, positive, and just maintain and just stay focused. And the biggest thing is, we can't do the hack crap, because at the end of the day, we have to do this for the customer, regardless if we hate the insurance company, hate our boss, hate our estimator, hate our life. The customer deserves a good quality job, repair for their investment. I mean, that's their car. That has nothing to do with our feelings. That the car looks like crap when it came in, but we got to replace the bumper, rear body, deck lid. Well, the gaps didn't line up before on the front. I'm gonna make the back look just, that's not your. That can't be for you to judge. You're supposed to do the job 100%.
For sure. So these older guys. I mean, Roy was even. I was talking to Roy not too long ago about this stuff. I mean, I had to learn from those guys. Those guys that bad mood, F place, F this place, F the insurance companies, this and that. But I mean, like you said, if you can get that knowledge, you become unobtainium. You become so useful. You can get a job anywhere. You're worth it. You're waiting. You can walk out one day and walk into another. Not that I recommend that. Always have a new job lined up before you leave a job. Yeah. But it's these older. I mean, Roy sent me a video of somebody who was like, you got to listen to these two guys that I learned this trade from. And they were the biggest a-holes I've ever met in my life. One of them called me a piece of shit every morning and this and that. And the other one, he would make sure. Yeah, right. And all this other stuff, it's like, but I thank these guys for everything, because from them, I learned something that I can provide for myself, my family, and this and that, So, what I don't think you can go and you can try and get these older guys to be nicer.
No,
I ain't seeing it. I'm not going to put any. No. What I'm going to try and tell the younger techs, and if you go to my TikTok, there's a video that's like 4 years old now at the top of my TikTok, still pinned there. It says advice for new body techs. And one of the things it says in there is that the older guys are a-holes. You got to go learn from them anyway. Go pull that information out of them, because they have what you need. And once you get it from them, move on.
Yeah.
You don't have to stay
on that.
Well, Michael right here says that he had some mentors that were older guys, and when he took to their guidance, it kind of revitalized the drive for the industry. So in other words, it made them enjoy it again.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen that comment, and I agree with Michael. And so I may have misspoke. I'm not saying the older guys got to change their ways.
Right.
I wish in a sense, I wish they would ease it down a little bit.
Me too.
But what I was trying to lead into is these younger guys, they don't listen to them when they are actually talking facts. And regardless of what these old dudes are saying, listen, because they're full of knowledge. They know the industry like the back of their hand. You might as well listen, regardless if they are calling you hey, you fucking piece of shit. It is what it is. That's
for sure.
Right. Yeah. You got to just take
listen.
And, And you know, before me and Stefan have done this podcast now for a little over 2 years. Our main goal when we started this was to have a resource where people could come that were new and ask these people that follow us, that talk to us, that leave comments, um, for advice, for some type of guidance if they didn't have any of their own.
Mm.
And you know, I know that anybody in here, if a new tech was to call and ask any one of these guys, they would be happy, more than happy, to share that information.
Mhm.
And that's what we're constantly building, driving, and doing. And you know, that's just what we're a part of.
So and Eugene is doing the same thing on his channels,
Yes.
posting as the Body Shop Coach. So
Right.
make sure to go give him a follow. I mean, are you just on TikTok or are you on
Yeah, so
another?
my wife kind of, she's the one that edits all my videos. I don't even really look at the TikToker. I'll comment a lot if someone's commenting,
Mhm.
but my Facebook, I've never even been on it. That's all her. Yeah,
Okay.
so
So TikTok and Facebook, but I mean,
yep.
yeah, it's good to have multiple platforms because
Mhm.
the way I see most people choose their platform, that's good for them.
Mhm.
So if you're trying to reach a lot of people, you kind of got to be on
Right.
at least two. You know,
Yeah.
That's
I
wild.
maintain 3 or 4. So
Short question though, right before we go to get off here, we got 4 minutes left, but we always talk about it at some point. Glue pulling. Have we seen any of that stuff in the area you're working in? Have you?
Yeah. So
You
a
know,
lot of people actually, what is it, Kiko or?
yeah,
mhm.
Yep. A lot of people got that little stand set up. A lot of people. And
yeah,
do I see them using a lot? No. But there is usually one person in the shop that likes to use it the most. So at
Yeah.
least it is getting used. But you get to the person that before glue pulling was really even a thing, that
mhm,
knows how to work the stud welder, body puller,
yeah,
and they're a master at that. They don't. It's hard to change ways sometimes when that's your, that,
mhm,
because like we talked about, you manage your own time. So it's just like, I know I can do this just
right,
with this gun right here. That's what I'm gonna use. And this other guy's just like,
mhm,
I like loop and pop pop pop.
Mhm.
yeah. Tell a Frank story, man. That I we don't have time to tell a Frank story today
I
because
We
there's
could
a
keep
bunch
it
of them.
rolling if you want.
Jordan, I got it written down for next week.
Look, I'm telling you that this dude, this dude he was one of the craziest and best dudes I probably ever worked with as far as an older guy in my life. So I will come up with some. I'll tell a few Frank stories in another video, another episode.
We'll have
So,
it.
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
remind him. I'll remind
right,
him. That
right,
means you got to come back, Jordan. Keep watching.
yeah, yeah.
But
He'll
no,
be back.
that's awesome about glue pull, man. I mean, I've seen the same thing. It's pretty much just 1 or 2 people in the shop, but then you do see it kind of grow from there. Once one
Mhm.
person gets the knack of it, and other
Mhm.
guys see that one person turn like a giant caved in quarter panel into a mud job in just a few hours,
Yeah, yeah,
then they're like, oh man, I gotta try that glue stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's very cool to see, and I like that you are seeing it, because I'd say
Frank
two
is the man.
years ago when we
Mhm.
first started, I'd say most of our guests were saying that no, that it's not in their shops, and now everybody's saying, yeah, we got that, we got
Right.
that Kiko, in
And
a
there
matter of 2 years.
there always is one person that is highly energetic about it.
Hmm.
And then the rest of the shop is like, "I'm not so sure
That
about
was
you yet."
me.
You know?
That's yours.
They're
That's your
they're like
station now, buddy.
they're like,
Yeah.
"I like you, but I don't know what to do with you yet.
Hmm.
So
How long does it take
I'm
this
gonna
glue
just
gun to
watch
heat up?
you and see what you do." You
Oh.
know?
Yes,
You don't
sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joining a shop, when you get hired at a shop and you bring your
Yeah.
glue pulling techniques with you,
Mhm.
whoo, does that start up
Mhm.
Yeah.
You get a lot of eyes.
stuff. Yeah.
No.
It gets interesting.
Jordan says PDR is definitely the future. The PDR method in the body shop is the future for sure.
Mm.
Man, I would
So
love to learn it, but right now I got so much going on. But I really want to, in the next couple years, I really want to see if I could, get into the avenue just to see it. I'd
yeah.
never really had patience, but I think that thing will help me to the next level of creating
All,
patience.
all I'll say is if you're planning to use it in the body shop, you're probably never going to learn it. But if you're planning to create something and learn it,
Mm-hmm.
then you're determined,
Yep.
and there's a lot of ifs there,
Yeah,
Right.
I know.
then you can do it. You can do it. You
It's
can
one
Yeah, I
of these-
wouldn't, I
absolutely
wouldn't do it in a body shop. I would
I-
maybe
I
do
can
something
I can
myself.
tell you I
It's
can
not
tell
gonna fit
you
in
a
a body
secret
shop.
to change the way is you have to humble yourself and you have to say, I don't know everything and I'm
Yep.
going to learn this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's gonna probably suck at first because you're starting from zero. But once you understand that and you accept that fact, then you can roll in
You'll
with
be a
fresh
hero.
mindset.
No, sorry.
You know, you can.
Amen.
I mean, it is what it is. I did it. That's the way I did it. I jumped right in and said, I do not know how to do this, but I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we made it through the hour mark. Was that
No, but that was my like you guys know, that was my first podcast ever. First podcast ever, so I might have
was it-
butchered up a little bit, but I'll be
No,
ready
you're
if we ever do it
great.
again.
Was it torture?
No, it was fine.
Good. I'm
no,
glad.
that's good. First podcast ever, man. You did a fantastic job. And I know these guys through here, man, well, these comments and stuff, they enjoyed talking to you. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that's awesome. That's
really
awesome.
appreciate you coming on. Looking forward to all the upcoming videos. And honestly, get more controversial. Why the hell not? That's what social media loves.
For sure.
Seriously.
I just, like I said, I've been too focused on trying to get this thing sold, but you know,
I get
it is what it is.
I get it. Just you know, I mean, do it in your time, you know.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, that's my advice.
Mhm.
Keep plugging. You know,
Yes, sir.
keep
Good advice.
going. The industry needs people like you. So
Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
It does. All right, guys.
all right, everybody have a great week.
See you
too.
guys next time.